Hello, everyone. It's Julie Henriques, the Executive Director of Sisters in Crime, and I am so spend some time with you on this Saturday afternoon, which here I live outside of Boston, Massachusetts. It's very beautiful. It's sunny, it's cold, but it's very beautiful. And I hope it is nice where you are, for sure. So this is our first write-in for Camp Nano. So Camp Nano is different, NaNoWriMo is different than the November NaNoWriMo. A lot of you participated in that. I did it, I actually had done it a couple times before, but I actually met the goal because the goal of the November NaNoWriMo, which we're going to do again, is to write 50,000 words. The camps, which are in April and July, and Sister in Crime is very happy to sponsor, are more about setting your own goals and working on those for a month, so that it's using that structured program to actually say, I'm going to do this in the month, and to focus on it. And so we have got as you hopefully have seen on the Camp Nano page, we've got some archive, some videos out of our archives that we share. If you're a member of Sisters in Crime, you can look at all the webinar archives for lots of support. But we're also going to be doing these weekly write-ins. And I thought that on this first write-in, I'd talk a little bit about goals before we spend some time. We're going to spend 25 minutes working on our projects together, and then we're going to check in at the end. So I am, I've worked in the performing arts in previous lives for a long time, and I've been teaching arts administration classes for, I think I'm in my 16th year. I'm also a life coach. And so I talk about goals in a lot of different ways, but goal setting for creative people is different than setting goals for businesses. So a lot of you, writing is a second career, and so you might have some structure around how you set goals in the past that aren't working for you as well on your writing journey. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how, as a creative person, you can set some goals. One of the things that we do as writers is we sort of take in everything that's happening and we get inspired. So you may read an article that just starts to tickle the back of your brain a little bit, and you think, oh, I need to remember this, or this is the germ of the plot of my next book. That happens to me. I mean, I'm working on the 5th book in a series right now. So I know the characters and I know the world, but to start the book, I need something that plants the seed of an idea that I can work on for the book. So you are all muted. I'm going to be checking that, and then I'll be putting glasses on. So hopefully I'm not muted, but you all are. So when we're setting goals as creative people, you realize that you're working in 3 dimensions, and that's fine. But for April, let's just talk about setting one goal that works, and what that goal can be, that inspires you, but that doesn't overwhelm you so that you give up, on Monday, because you're like, well, I can't do this. So when you set a goal, it's an intention. And as you all know, I'm going to write a book, but writing a book is a lot of different steps. I mean, I'm a plotter, so for me, it's, plotting, putting things in Scrivener, first draft, sending it out to readers, second draft, sending it out to readers, all of those are all my steps. So each one of those is a goal unto itself. So when we're setting goals, we want to make them SMART goals. And here's what SMART goals mean. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So let's talk about all of these different parts of a SMART goal. So it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So if I say, I'll use a goal from another world. So if I say I want to lose weight, that's a goal. To make it a SMART goal, you have to add those other elements to it and then consider the goal within those elements. So if I say I want to lose 50 pounds by June 1st, well, that's specific, it's measurable, right? It's relevant because it's saying whether it's time bound because I'm saying by June 1st, but is it achievable? No, it isn't. I mean, for some people it may be, but it isn't achievable to lose 50 pounds in 2 months. So you really got to balance what you're asking yourself to do with the rest of your life to make sure it fits in and to make sure that you're creating the steps forward that you need to create in order to. And the steps are the critical part. Too often we all will berate ourselves, or I don't have time, or you read a book that says you have to write 1,000 words a day in order to be a writer, and you think, well, I can't do that, and so I'm not going to even try. Or you do your best and you do it well for a couple of weeks and then you putter out and you can't do it. Or you see people posting on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, I wrote this many words a day, and you're like, I can't do that, so I'm not even going to try. Well, the thing is, you need to do you, and your life has complications outside of your writing, right? It can have family, it can have 1 or 2 more jobs, it can have, pets, aging parents, so many things. So if you can only write for 20 minutes a day or 250 words a day, it's going to be slower, but eventually you're going to write those 70,000 words for that book. If you don't spend those 20 minutes that you can find every day, you're never going to get to your goal. Baby steps will get you there. So trust yourself, trust the process, trust Sisters in Crime, trust other things you're doing, and really, really make sure that you're creating this small steps that can bring you forward on your goals. So for the goals for this month, you may want to reassess to just make sure, am I being fair to myself? Am I setting myself up for success? You want to encourage you and to push you forward, but not to overwhelm you or to undermine you. We can be our own worst obstacles and blocks. Perfectionism gets in the way of progress. If perfectionism derails us, you can't be a perfectionist. That's the other great thing about NaNoWriMo is you got a month. We're all doing it together. So you've got to turn off the perfectionist and you've got to keep going. So when you're doing setting up your goals, we created this worksheet that hopefully you've seen, and this is probably reversed on the video, but you know what it is. You can download it from the emails that I sent out. It's also on the resource page for NaNoWriMo, Camp NaNoWriMo. And the things that we're asking you to do are write down your goal. And you're probably going to print this out every week or, write down in your journal, just write down the questions, but rewrite your goal every week because that is affirming, it is intentional. Intention matters a lot in a creative journey. Like I intend to write this book. What am I going to have to do to make that happen? So write down your goals for the month. And then write down 5 things that you're going to do to achieve that goal for that week. So it can be, for some people, it may be I'm going to write every day and I'm going to plot and I'm going to do research, and that's a lot. For other people, it's I'm going to write on the write-in for 25 minutes on Saturday. On Monday, I'm going to write for 25 minutes. On Wednesday, and your calendar, right? If writing is your goal. If editing is your goal, it may be I'm going to do this many scenes a day. I'm going to watch Jess Lowry's great editing video in the webinar archives. And I'm going to do what she said about the scene cards. How are you going to make this goal work for you? Write down 5 things. And if you can, schedule them into your calendar so that they become appointments with yourself, for yourself, towards this goal. Okay? And then The other thing that I added to the worksheet that I would love you to think about is how are you going to celebrate if you do all 5 of those things? That can be, you know, an extra pot of tea. It can be, you know, I don't know what you're going to do. But I try to give myself little rewards or little moments. Like if I do all the work I wanted to do, I'm going to listen to my book on tape, or I'm going to do whatever. Yes, I do. Reinvesting and reclaiming your goals every week matters, and adjusting them as needed. We're not swearing a blood oath here that we're sticking with our original goal. If you need to adjust it, spend this month learning what your capacity is and what you can do. I see that Holly suggested, and I can't suggest highly enough, Jess Lowry's editing video that she did at the end of January. It's really great. I've watched it twice already because I'm for April is to edit a book that's due May 1st. So this is actually very timely for me. So these are how you set goals. So be kind to yourself. Understand that your writing life, though for many of us that's the joy, that's a really joyful place to be, it has to work with the rest of your life. Right? And so you can only do what you can do, but you do have to be intentional about carving out the time, making the space, and really holding yourself to account. And if it's not working, what's going on? Do I need some support? Do I need to talk to somebody about, you know, how to get past this procrastination? Is my perfectionist getting in the way? Am I being unkind to myself? I think that we're all very unkind to ourselves on a creative journey. I will say the book I'm writing now is going to be my 10th published novel. And on every single novel, I hit a point where I'm like, I can't do this one. I can't pull this off. You know, the imposter syndrome still kicks in. So that's a lifelong learning. But groups like this, like your writing friends, like your Sisters in Crime chapter, can really help support you and get you through that. Meeting other writers can help, because people who aren't writers don't understand this process, and oftentimes just don't understand why you would put yourself through what you put yourself through in order to write a book. So I am and answer any questions. If you do have a question, you can click the ask a question here, and I'll answer them after we do a write-in. But why doesn't everyone spend a minute in the chat and just put your goal, abbreviate it, but put your goal for the month, so that you're you're telling the world what you're going to be doing. And you know, let's all get in the space of making that happen. It's only April 3rd. We've got plenty of time. But what goals? What is your goal for Camp NaNoWriMo this month? What are you hoping to accomplish? Where are you planning on going with this? But let the world know. And then we're going to get ready for our write-in or edit-in or whatever else you want to do. Editing novels, awesome. Backstories, revisions, 15 words a day, 15,000 words, 500 a day sounds great. First drafts, revising, revising based on comments. That's where I am now. I'm you know, should be polishing, but I got some comments that are throwing me off. Good. Yeah, writing. And finish the novel is really important. Like for those of you who are on that journey, finish before you start revising. Finish, just get the words on there. You can edit them, but don't edit and not keep pushing forward. That's my advice, because it happens. Drafting, romantic suspense, completing outlines, plotting. Sometimes in your goal, you're going to sort of say, you know what, I'm changing it because I've got to work on backstory. I've got to replot this, whatever you're going to do. But just keep moving forward and check in this month every Saturday with all of us to sort of like, how are you doing? Where's what's going on? How's that going to move forward? So I am here to answer questions, as I said, towards the end. But right now, why don't we, my phone, so I can set a timer. Why don't we work for 25 minutes? Take the time. You get energy of your fellow writers here. And so we're all in it together. We're from all over the world. Well, not all over the world, but all over, this continent. And so make sure that you are, you've got a put it in your mind what you want to accomplish in the next 25 minutes. 25 minutes doesn't sound like a lot of time, but it actually is a lot of time. And, whatever you need to do to get into the space to do your work, you can do it. I have proof pages that I've got to do a second pass through. That's my goal for today. Which will take me more than 25 minutes, but this is going to get me started. And so I am grateful for that and so grateful for all of you. So I'm going to start my timer now, and I'm here in 25 minutes, and then I'm happy to answer any questions you have about goal setting or anything else, all right? So thank you all for being here, and I'll see you in 25 minutes. Hello, everyone. We're back. How did you all do in that 25-minute sprint? Check in and let me know. Hopefully well. And I have scenes excellent. I've been looking over some of your goals too, and it's this is great. I'm really inspired. Teresa, I hear you. I find stuff all the time that I can't believe. I just found a problem in the proof pages where a person's name is wrong, so to fix it. And a chapter, that's great. Oh, that's so, I'm so glad that you all are finding this helpful. Again, focusing together for 25 minutes a week for this month, and then, you know, what else you're going to do to support your goal. Some of you have very ambitious goals that you know, however we can support each other through them is wonderful. So again, I'm putting my intention out there that after I finish these proof pages, that editing this book, which has a hard deadline, is going to be the goal. And I'm really excited that we're all going to do it together. So we had a couple of questions. I will let you know I'm going to download this write-in and put it up on the resource page. I'm probably going to do it next week, since, you know, I don't know, maybe I'll do it this afternoon, but I will get them up so that they'll be down below. I had a question for you all. We have about 150 people signed up so far for Camp Nano. Do you like this version on Crowdcast where somebody's talking to you and you've got the chat to talk to each other and then we can ask questions? Or would you like a Zoom call as part of this? We can have up to 100 people on a call with our license. So we would have talking heads and we'd have to mute and all that kind of stuff. Tell me what you prefer. You can also email me your preference. You like this version. So if you all like this, and that's great. We're happy to do it. And we'll other faces so that you may or may not see me all month, but I like this. Less pressure, great. Great, this is good, I'm glad. We had a couple of questions that I'll answer. Any suggestions for finding an accountability partner for Camp Nano this month? I don't know if you all have a question, a suggestion for that. We could, yeah, we don't have a mechanics, but maybe we can, for next week, figure out a way to have, you know, you chime in, or if people want to sort of throw it out there that, oh, Crowdcast is fine, but less of the host talking, more time writing. Well, we're trying to make a balance here to also support people and have them get something. And this was the first one to get done. Is there a group page on NaNoWriMo page? There's a group, there's a thread, and I haven't explored it yet, so I will look at that. So we got accountability partners. I'm not sure how we can do that, and if somebody has a suggestion, we can figure that out. But maybe if you you can even put in the chat if you're interested in doing it. We can do that as well. So yeah, I think also that that's a great question for somebody else, and also commented on that question that they're interested. So maybe you can both chat and respond to each other. What was between carve out a time and hold myself accountable? I would need to listen to that. I will, I'm assuming carve out a time, hold yourself accountable. but also set some structure around it so that it's achievable as well. So you do want to hold yourself accountable, but you don't want to set up impossible. You want to push a little bit, but you don't want to make this impossible. I do find that carving out time, like literally scheduling time in my calendar so that it is on my Google Calendar and reminds me, is really, really important. Is there something off of this chat where everyone works? I'm kind of new at this. We've got a couple of people putting in their emails into the chat, and we can leave the chat open for a while so you can all check in with each other. We'll be doing 2 25-minute sprints and some check-in and coaching in between. We could look at that. Oh, I'm glad that you like my glasses. They're actually readers I got them on Amazon. So thank you. I love them too. It's super helpful. So could you please resend the Camp Nano page with all the resources, downloads, and my email. If you get the email from me, it should have, if you actually click at the header on the very top of the email, that will take you to the resources page. I will definitely make sure that I add that link into the page as well. And let me, I'll pull it up right now. And so I will put it in the chat. So just give me a second because I'm going to need to go in and find it. So keep chatting to each other. You can all drop off if you'd like to. Here you go. That's so SinC Camp Nano is the after sistersincrime.org/SinC Camp Nano would be there as well. Let's see if we got another question. Do you have to sign up each week to get the link, or we signed up for the whole month? Well, we're doing Crowdcast, so we're using the same link for all 4 sessions. So next week you just have the same link, and you can pop it in, and you're going to be able to get to it. For sure. Any other questions while we're doing this? So what I'm hearing is that, there's some people who want more writing coaching. We can create frames for both. I'll let people know, and then we'll just make sure some of you have got your emails in here, so make sure that you are connecting with those. And again, I will stay on here for a second so that you can go back and find emails for people who want to do accountability. And I want to thank you all. I'm going to go and do some more work myself. So thank you for keeping me on task. And as always, thank you to our members. So we are, we love Sisters in Crime for sure. And we're all going to get stuff done this month. So this is great. Thank you all. Take care. I will see you next week. Bye. Can you attend every Saturday? Will the talks be online later? You can attend every single Saturday for sure. The first of the month for members, we always have a write-in. We're going to do it in May as well. You can attend every single Saturday, and I will download this now and put it on the camp resources page so that people who missed it can see it, and also so if you could see it again. And if you go into the write-ins page on the website, you'll also find a 25-minute write-in if you just feel like you need to be in that zone. Then you have it. All right? Great. Happy Saturday, everyone. We'll see you next week. Bye now.